Hello everybody, it's time for another Helicarrier update, and I have to say I have been building like mad. So first we're going to start with this piece, which I originally was calling the control tower. It's the wrong name because on aircraft carrier it's called an island, not a control tower. It's something I should have known, and I'm surprised no one corrected me in the comments on my other videos. So anyway, here's the island. This is pretty much built. See what we've gone over what I did here. First, open up the front, put in this forward firing gun. And then on the inside, I got some detail on the gun. Got a whole bunch of detail around the outside. Here's the nameplate area. Details around the windows, doors. See, there's no rivets on it. That's actually a step I'm waiting for. I'll talk about that later. And then I built up here on top. So here we have the radar tower, which is magnetized. So we got that right there. I also built this anti-aircraft gun, again magnetized. So, and then, yeah, so we got the parts in the back here. Those are the helipads for the Defcopters. So yeah, this is the island. Very, and again, I put down cardboard on the inside here, mainly just to cover up the wood grain. So not much of it shows through. So yeah, very nice piece of terrain, very much a centerpiece. A radar tower came out very well. But that's hardly not what I've been working on. Not all of what I've been working on. Let me kind of reduce the camera side. Let me zoom in the camera a little bit here. Okay, so here's the next part I built. These are the side gun emplacements, the broadside guns. Again, a very simple foam core building. Here's Bob, kind of give you an idea of how big it is. Bob the Space Marine. There's Norma. Again, the outside are open to the players. And these are going to sit on the side of the flight deck in between the outriggers or the fans. So these, again, guns. Like I said, on a perfect world, if this was a model, there'd be a third gun right here, but it has to be open for some play area. Guns, some gun detail, breech loading, and very simple, but very effective for playing. So what else have I built? A lot. So I built a couple pieces of scattered terrain, starting with this one. I'm going to hold it up here. These are bombs, extra bombs from the Ork bombers, some ammo crates and barrels from the GW battlefield terrain sprues, battlefield debris sprues, and some barrels that also, plastic barrels, I don't know where they came from. I don't think they're GW, but they're smaller than the GW ones. That one. I also built this one. Again, it has some more ammo crates and barrels, but also has like a little shop. So I built this engine hoist crane type thing out of the wrecking ball from a truck. So we got a toolbox here, another tiny toolbox here on the floor, and a workbench with some tools. And you can see all these little tools on it. These were just some laser cut tools that got off eBay a long time ago. They're a little small for 40K, but or for Ork specifically, but they get the job done. And you notice how I put this on just flat cardboard instead of so these will be sitting on the deck, but the idea here is that these are things that have come up from the deck elevators. So the deck elevators aren't going to have the same cork text base as the rest of the flight deck. So they're going to be smooth metal to represent, as I said, the deck elevators. And so these are just things that are being brought up to the deck from underneath. So here are these two little pieces of scatter terrain again. Here's little Bob. Very nice cover for infantry models. So I'm very happy with those. Oops. Next thing is I wanted to build a fuel truck. And so I did. Here it is. It's probably a little big for what I really wanted, but here it is. Oh, let's see here. This is my fuel truck. Obviously, you can kind of get an idea on the scale using the Pringles can, at least part of a Pringles can, and here's Bob. The wheels are from Dollar Store Toys, and the trailer does come off from the cab. And I was thinking about gluing this down to a board, but I decided against it That makes it a little more more realistic with it. Instead of having to worry about it sitting on a board, sitting up above the flight deck, it'll be on the flight deck. Also, that way I can take the two pieces apart, have two separate pieces of terrain, or maybe even one day just use the cab as an actual truck in the game. But anyway, I'm really happy. There's a picture, close-up picture of this on my Twitter if you want to go take a look at that. Very happy with this. It's the first time I've ever done some major scratch building in quite a while, actually. It's kind of fun. Total time for this, about 6 hours. I actually timed it. It took me 6 hours to build this thing, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, there's my field truck. The next thing I did was the front gun mount. Okay, so first, let's start with this. So this is the front part of the deck, the nose of it. I've started to do the tchotchkes on this. And then I wanted a front gun emplacement, something a little more substantial than the turrets I did for the back. So I made a massive front turret. Here it is. Again, a nice little foam core ruin. Worky details with the diags, some ladders going up to the sides. This is a window for aiming. And here's Bob. So you can again see how kind of a scale this thing is. So this is the front gun emplacement. It's not really going to be magnetized down because it's going to be, this is again another very playable building with embattlements on it for a terrain piece. Very happy with how that came out as well. And one last piece I built, I actually had this line around, so I decided to go ahead and use it up, which was some half of an Aegis defense line. So I kind of built a barrier, so you kind of look like shocks there, so I can either hydraulic cylinders to move or shocks to absorb the damage. The idea is that this thing will be sitting behind the gun emplacement as kind of like an impact barrier from runaway landing DACA jets. And again, it's a very playable piece of terrain, lots of room to put a vehicle in here behind cover, lots of infantry models. Very playable. So that's what I've been doing. Oh my gosh, it just seems like I've been building non-stop. But overall, I mean, very happy with all the terrain I've gotten built. I think between this and the Prometheum relay pipes that I already have done will be more than, and of course the edges of the boards, will be more than sufficient terrain for a table. So anyway, what's next now is I'm going to finish the tchotchkes on the front part, and then after that it really comes down to just buying stuff. I need to get the more supplies. I need to get the cork for the flight deck, the embroidery rings for around the fans, some more of the 1/4 inch dowel for the outriggers, and kind of built like a grill over the fans. And then all the LEDs and electronics. Oh, and the studs, the rivets, that's right, that's what I was going to do. Instead of trying to do plastic rivets for all these big giant pieces of terrain, I'm going to try and get some self-adhesive nail studs. You can pick up thousands of them for not much money. And nail studs is in fingernail decorative studs. So that's my plan for all the rivets on these, is to get several thousand of those self-adhesive nail studs and glue them on that way. And then once all those studs are on there, then I can actually start painting the terrain while I'm waiting for the money for the rest of the supplies. So it's a pretty long update, but again, I've been doing an awful lot of work, and I'm very happy with where everything is. So yeah, that's it. So and on the next update, there's a good chance you might actually see the whole thing laid out, kind of like a teaser there. But again, if you like this project, like where it's going, I would please share it around. If I get some more exposure, I'd really appreciate it. Again, once the next video comes out, you'll see the whole board laid out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And thanks for watching.